As you begin to awaken spiritually, there comes a point in time when you start to look at the world around you and you begin to realize that it is merely a reflection of your own thoughts, words, and vibration. You begin to realize that you can shift your external world by shifting your internal world. And furthermore, you begin to understand that as you shift your own individual reality, you are then able to influence the collective reality. This is a very exciting time, and you begin to play with your power as a creator. You begin to work on the ways that you can shift your thoughts, your actions, your words, your vibration, and you begin to see the changes in your individual world. But there comes a point in time when a deeper realization begins to take root. You begin to understand that there are forces and energies within this simulated reality that are attempting to control your individual thoughts, words, and vibration. And you begin to see that the reason that they are doing this is to create a specific version of reality that they want you to buy into. But you in your awakened state no longer consent to this. As you begin to revoke your consent and to notice all the ways that you are being manipulated and deceived, you begin to understand that you are in fact in the middle of a spiritual war, and that war is being fought for your consciousness. So what do you do now? How do you lift yourself up out of this simulated reality and begin the process of becoming a sovereign being and creator? In this video, I'm going to share with you 3 simple steps to help you unplug from the matrix or the simulated reality that we have been entangled or enmeshed in, and that we are in the process of ascending out of. The first step in this process is a really, really easy one, and it's kind of a no-brainer when we begin to awaken spiritually, and that is to stop watching the news. It is honestly to stop getting our information in general from out there and begin getting it from in here. This is a process, and it takes time to cultivate this inner connection and this discernment and awareness. So in the beginning, we're probably still going to look to other people. You're going to be looking to videos such as this for guidance in that process. And that's okay. It's all about using our discernment and trusting only that which resonates with us. And when I talk about what resonates, what I mean is what feels good in your soul, in your spirit, what lights you up when you hear it, what flicks on that proverbial light bulb and makes you go, I remember. That is what resonating is. It's when you feel it in your body, you feel it in your heart. There is a recognition of the information that you are receiving. And there is a little bit of a caveat to this, and that caveat is that there are a lot of false light teachings, a lot of trappings within the spiritual community to essentially put people back to sleep as they begin to awaken by spreading false teachings and false information. And the way that this is done is by using spiritual truth and then twisting it just a little bit. So we have that initial resonance. And then that resonance fools us into believing all of the information. And so a way to avoid this is to really listen with our hearts, to feel into everything that we hear, and to take all information that we're given piece by piece, understanding that there may be some pieces that are true for us. I'll put it that way because there is a universal truth, but truth in general is relative to the perception of the person receiving it. And our ability to recognize deeper universal truth continues to shift and evolve as we do, and we become ready to receive more information, wisdom, and knowledge. But take everything piece by piece. Does this piece fit? Does that piece fit? And allow that to shape your version of reality. I remember myself, even in my very, very early years, as I was always somebody who was spiritually curious, I suppose we could say. The different information that was given to me, I sifted through and I picked out the parts that resonated for me, as opposed to following any one religious doctrine or dogma. And so there were certain things that I felt in my soul were true, such as reincarnation, such as the fact that we are infinite beings, such as the fact that we have an energy system. The chakra system resonated with me. Working with crystals resonated with me. So I picked out the pieces that did fit, and I discarded all the rest. And that's what we begin to become very selective in this process and really get practiced at this as we continue to move forward along our journey. Now, bringing this back to the original point of no longer watching the news, I want to clarify this a little bit. I'm not saying that we need to ignore what's going on in the world. What I am saying is that the news is essentially propaganda. The corporate or commercial news is now called that for a reason. It is sponsored by big corporations. It is sponsored by people who want you to be in a state of fear, who want you to be in a lower vibration, and who want you to believe the particular narrative that they are putting forward. Now, to understand this a little bit more deeply, we have to understand that this, what I term the false matrix, right, this illusion of reality that we live in, is upheld by the collective's creative power. And what that means is that what we believe and perceive to be true and what exists within our own hearts is what's reflected outward. So when the collective is watching the corporate news, what is going on within them is a lower vibration, a lowered fear state, right? A state of uncertainty, a state of anxiety, even a state of anger and justified rage and frustration. And that is what we experience and create together in the outer world. When we believe everything that we are told, we are setting ourselves up to be deceived because the very people giving us the information through these mainstream channels have an agenda. Like we said, part of that agenda is to keep us in that lower vibration. The other part is to keep us ignorant and to keep us perpetuating through our creative power a certain narrative that they are portraying. It is also to keep us divided and to keep us polarized and separate so that we are constantly fighting with each other instead of unifying to come together to create the better world that really each and every single one of us wants in our own way. Even those who may not be in an unconditionally loving or a tolerant standpoint for other human beings, we all individually want the freedom to be who we are. I think that is a universal desire. The freedom to exist as we are without any infringement upon our being. And that is why it is so important. Like if we were to come together just on that one desire and put everything else to the side, think of the amount of change that we could create in this world. But instead, there's all this infighting. There's all this strange idea that's been programmed into us that says that if somebody doesn't agree with us, we can't like them, we can't be friends with them. Everything they say must be wrong if some point that they are making goes against what we believe. And we've really been taught that there is a good and a bad side to the collective, and that everybody who believes certain things falls into this bad energy, and everyone who believes other things falls into this good energy. So it's almost like you have to adopt all the beliefs of that side to feel like you are good or to feel like you are justified. There is so much psychological warfare that goes on. And the news is one of the primary vehicles of distributing this false information and achieving these false agendas or these agendas of control. So get rid of that. Get rid of that. If you need to tune into some type of news, find some alternative news sources. I love the Alex Jones radio show. There may be people, he is a bit controversial, right? And the media has really gone after him to make sure that people believe that he is all kinds of negative things, right? But he has been adamantly sharing the truth. I mean, his show is called InfoWars, Information Wars. Because there is a war for information. And that war over information is a war for your consciousness. It's a war for your belief system. Because remember, your consciousness and your perception creates the dominant reality. And this is why when we pull our energy out of that, we become so powerful, because the more people that do that, the more we begin to shift and change the collective reality. So I really enjoy him. There are some other people that I enjoy. Find who you enjoy. Find who you resonate with. But remember, no matter who you are listening to, judge it against your inner resonance. Because nobody has 100% of the truth, right? We are all filtering what we perceive to be truth through our own biases, through our own cognitive dissonance, right? So nobody is a pure and clear channel, or very, very few people are. I really enjoy one of my mentors and teachers, Rising Phoenix Aurora. She gains a lot of her information through her channelings and through the hypnosis past life regression sessions that she and all of her other practitioners, such as myself, take people through. All right, that to me is a more trusted system of knowledge than trusting these entities, really, who are being spoon-fed the information that those in power, or those who used to be in power, who are scrambling to maintain that power, want us to believe as the truth, right? But ultimately, it's my responsibility to take what everybody says, even the people whose vision or version of truth and methods of attaining that truth resonate with me, and judge everything they say against my own resonance. This is why, and this brings us to number two, the number two thing to do as we begin to unplug ourselves from the matrix is to meditate. Just meditate. Connect with your inner self. Build that bridge, build that connection, strengthen that connection. Because that is where everything you need to know lies within you. All truth, all experience. We are all part of the collective field. We are all part of source energy. We are all beautiful fractals or emanations of some aspect of source energy, right? And we all have access to all of the same cosmic truth. If we learn to go within, if we learn to get quiet. And that's a big part of the discernment process as well. When you hear something and you're not sure if it fully resonates, right? That little fire didn't get fully lit within you. You didn't fully feel it in your heart. You're not 100% sure. Sometimes this is because it's just false, right? Sometimes this is because it questions your own personal narrative. It challenges the belief systems and the programming. Remember, going back to the news thing, and really all television, all of this, it's all programming. They call it programming for a reason. They are programming you. And so part of unplugging from the matrix, a big part of it is deprogramming ourselves. So sometimes we hear something and it's not jiving with our programming. So we need to discern where this disconnect is coming from. One really simple way to judge resonance and to judge the intentions of the person delivering the information is to feel for the love. Is there love? Is there an underriding vibration of love beneath the energy of the person relaying the information? That can be a huge indicator. And yes, this can be challenging as well for some people because not all of us, because of our experiences in this dimension and others as well, we may be disconnected from that frequency of love. That may not be a frequency that we can trust or even easily identify all of the time. Sometimes, I know I'm giving you guys a lot of contradictions here. Welcome to the spiritual journey. Sometimes people who hold a really powerful vibration of love almost act like mirrors, or not even mirrors necessarily, but they bring up our own darkness, our own resistance. And so that can feel negative. But like I said, the way to unwind all of this is just to sit in meditation, to get quiet with yourself, to really practice learning how to tap into your own heart center, how to tap into your own energy, your own frequency, how to tap into that source frequency. A lot of times we get our energy from outside sources as well. We learn how to fill our energy back up through people, through places, through acquiring things, through all of these forms of validation. We get everything, not just information, but everything we need from the outside. That's how we're taught to live. And so it's a powerful process to reconnect with our own energy source, and that what's the word I'm looking for here? That unlimited energy that's available to us when we connect through our hearts to source energy itself. Refuel your energy from there. Get really clear in your own energy. That's number 3 here. Get clear in your own energy. Begin the process of releasing attachments. There's a simple thing that I teach people, which is at the end of the day, imagine that you're closing a door, and as that door closes, all of the energies that have been attached to you throughout the day, all the people that you've interacted with, everything that you've taken on, it's like that door closes and it's all disconnected. It's just you and your energy. Practice calling your energy back to you. All the energy that you've leaked out throughout the day with the intention that it's cleansed and cleared, and then imagine it like a reverse starburst returning to you. Move through clearing your energy. I have a beautiful energy clearing meditation that is free to download. It's in the description box below if you want to check that out. Have a brief process of clearing your energy. Just a simple way to do it is just to move and imagine this beautiful cleansing light pouring down through your crown, down through your entire being and out the bottoms of your feet. Go out in nature. That's a great way to clear your energy. Connect your feet to the ground, to the earth if you can. Connect to the trees. Take a bath. Work with the elements. Use fire to transmute, to alchemize. Every evening I like to light a match and imagine that the flame of that match is transmuting all the negative energies from my day. We really want to get ourselves as clear as possible. And as we raise our vibration, we begin naturally pushing out some of the entities, which I describe entities kind of as like fleas on a dog, right? They itch and they're a little bit uncomfortable most of the time. Every once in a while you get a tick or something like that and it can be diseased, and those you really need to get rid of. You want to get rid of all of them ideally, right? But I use that analogy so people aren't afraid, because we are a consciousness inhabiting a body. There are lots of other consciousnesses floating around, and a lot of those are looking for a home. Some of them have malevolent intentions. Some of them just want somewhere to, almost like somewhere warm to curl up, I guess you could say. All right, that the fire of your soul, the light of your soul is like a beacon. Imagine like when you turn on a light and all the moths and all the bugs are attracted to the light. That's you. And that light gets brighter as you begin to awaken. That's why you want to keep your energy clear. You want to shield your energy, not out of fear, but out of sovereignty and love. Emanating that heart energy out from you. Saying 3 times, I invoke the I am love light in me. I invoke the I am love light in me. I invoke the I am love light in me. And imagine this beautiful glowing force field of light around you. And there are deeper shielding techniques that Rising Phoenix Aurora teaches in her classes that we give out to everyone who receives a raw Reiki entity removal or an aura hypnosis past life healing session. All right. But you can get creative. Create your own shield. See these as barriers of you stating your sovereignty, refusing to be infringed upon. I like to state my lack of consent for infringement. And I like to state my sovereignty on a daily basis. Something simple such as, I do not consent to any type of infringement upon any aspect of my being in this or any other time, space, dimension, or multidimensional reality. I am God, I am sovereign, I am free. I am God, I am sovereign, I am free. I am God, I am sovereign, I am free. Start practicing this. Start practicing stating that. Start practicing feeling the energy of that reverberating through your vessel, through your being. And behave in a way that reinforces that sovereignty. And that brings me, I don't know if I already did 3 points. If I did, then this is number 4. If I didn't, then this will be number 3. Removing toxic people from our lives. This is really, really important. And yes, toxic people, I don't always necessarily like saying it like that because there's judgment there. So we'll say, remove people who are no longer a vibrational match, who do not respect your sovereignty, who do not approach you with love. Remove those people from your life. All right, this is similar to removing entity attachments. And if you want assistance with this, some of these are really, really entrenched in there. They've been with us for lifetimes, right? And it can be difficult to remove them on our own. So sometimes we need some help. So the raw Reiki entity removal, the Aura past life regression healing that I do, that I practice, that many others practice, is a really powerful way to do that. It's not just me doing it for you, it's us doing it together. Your higher self and I and all of the beautiful benevolent beings who your higher self wishes to have assist. All right, because remember, all healing is self-healing. But sometimes we need somebody to lead us along that process, to help us and hold space for us as we go through this. All right. So that is all very, very important. But it's not just the entities within and the energies that have attached to us. It's also the relationships in our lives. And remember, a lot of times these people who don't have your best interests at heart, they're being run by entities themselves and they don't even know it. They're being run by the false programming of the matrix and they cannot see it. And there comes a point where we have to step into our self-love and our sovereignty and say enough is enough. I love you, I honor you, and I respect you as another soul on this journey. But our time together in this journey has come to a close, at least for right now, because I need to love, honor, and respect myself and my boundaries and my right to be respected. And just get all that drama out of my life, because all of that drama is a distraction. Just like all the outer drama, going back to point number 1 with the news and all of this propaganda, it's all a distraction to keep you distracted from yourself. To keep you saying things like, I don't have time to meditate. I don't have time to go within. Right? I don't have time. That's the number one thing. This is a dimension that is ruled by an inverted sense of time as well. Right? Where we become slaves to time, just as we become slaves to the mind, which was meant to be the servant of the heart instead of the other way around. Take that time. Take that time. Honor yourself. Create that sacred space for yourself. When we begin to awaken and we begin to unplug from the matrix, there's a lot of raw, I'm seeing it right now as like in the movie The Matrix with Neo, when they pull out the cords, right? The cables that are connecting him in the pod. And that movie's actually a lot more realistic than people realize. In a lot of ways, it's more like a documentary. Go ahead and rewatch it if you haven't seen it in a while. But there's these raw wounds, gaping wounds where those cables were plugged in, right? At least as I'm remembering it. There's a vulnerability as our vibration starts rising. We become more sensitive, right? So we notice that the energies around us, they impact us more, right? And as our vibration is rising, people who are still in a lower vibration, sometimes through no fault of their own, not even through malevolent intention, just because they don't recognize who you've become, they want to pull you back down. They want to keep you in the energy that they know you as, right? Because they have an attachment. And it's not good or bad, it simply is. It's because, like we said, everybody's used to getting everything they need from out there. So they're used to getting what they need from you in a certain sense. And when you raise your vibration, you become less attainable. When you start being sovereign with your energy, they can't feed off of it the way they used to. And they're hungry. And they don't know how to feed themselves. But that's not your responsibility. It's not your responsibility to be an all-you-can-eat buffet. All right? If they're ready, you can begin to share with them the things that you're learning so that they can begin to feed themselves. But it's not your responsibility to remain that for them. Your responsibility, once you begin to awaken, is for your own energy, for your own healing process, and for your own evolution. So we remove these people from a place of love and compassion. But love and compassion for ourselves, first and foremost. Some of these people are literally placed in our lives, especially the ones that, like, that label toxic really fits. The ones that are cruel to us, the ones that bring us down, the ones that degrade us, the ones that make us feel like crap, and they do it on purpose, right? Some of those people were put there intentionally to prevent us from awakening. But we still, especially if they're family, we have this strange attachment. I guess it's not strange, right? I mean, we're taught that our family is meant to be the end all be all. Those are our people, right? It's not necessarily true. A lot of people who come from highly dysfunctional families or who lost their parents or their family early in life and had to find that family somewhere else, no one understands that it's not really blood that makes a family. All right. A lot of times those people who are finding this video, like, you incarnated into those family lines so that you could heal that ancestral karma to assist the planet in her ascension. To be the black sheep, the rainbow sheep, the one who didn't fit in. But the trap is when you try to force yourself to fit somewhere you don't belong. And this is what we're all taught to do from a small age, right? One of the biggest and most profound effects of this journey is when we begin to not care about that anymore. To truly not care, to truly set ourselves free from the expectations of others. Knowing that the only expectation that truly matters is the one that we have of ourselves. The loving, the unconditionally loving and compassionate expectations that we have for ourselves. Not the perfectionistic expectations that we learn to set that are really just a way of beating ourselves down, right? The expectations to be just a little bit better today than we were yesterday, a little bit more loving, a little bit more patient, a little bit more compassionate, to do the best that we can. All right, those are the beautiful, healthy expectations. How you feel about yourself is really what matters. It's not what the outside world thinks or feels about you. One of my favorite quotes that we used to use in 12-step that I hear in the spiritual community a lot too is, what other people think of me is none of my business. It doesn't matter. When you know you're good, when you know you're showing up and you're doing the best you can, and that's going to vary from day to day, right? It's a lot of baggage, a lot of programming that we're moving out of. This human experience, there's a lot of emotion here. There's so much density that we're working through, that we're releasing ourselves from. It's going to be a messy process. All right, so our best is going to vary on day to day. All we can do is be in our hearts as often as possible, love ourselves as deeply and completely as possible, honor and respect our journey, the fact that we're on a journey and the fact that everybody else is on a journey too. We don't want to push our spiritual growth onto other people. We don't want to push our expectations of ourselves onto other people. Even those beautiful, gentle expectations, right? We can't save other people. It's not about other people. It's about us. And prepare to be lonely, because there are some lonely aspects of this journey as we begin to awaken. And you'll notice you won't even necessarily need to consciously remove all the toxic people from your life. I know I always end up using that word, I even though I don't like it. But it helps to paint the picture, right? It helps to get the point across. Some of them are naturally most of them are going to naturally fade away as you begin to raise your vibration. But there are certain people, and you know who they are. You know right now as you're listening to this who those people are, that need to be removed consciously so that you can begin that process of raising your vibration. And then the rest of the people that aren't meant to be on your timeline right now, this particular version of reality with this particular version of you, will naturally fall away. And then it's just about surrendering, just about letting them. Easier said than done, I know. That right there is a really good starting place for raising your frequency and vibration and beginning to unplug yourself from the matrix. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and hit that like button. If you have not yet subscribed, please do. We talk about this kind of stuff on here. We do a lot with astrology. We do some tarot. It's a really beautiful tribe. So if you enjoy the vibe, please subscribe. I'm a writer. I enjoy poetry. I enjoy wordplay. So you're going to get a little bit of that cheesy stuff from time to time as well. I love you. I honor you. I respect you. You are so beautiful. If you want assistance on this journey, please reach out to me. My information is in the description box below. Just know that you are doing beautifully wherever you are at. And these things take some time. Releasing the indoctrination takes some time. It's uncomfortable. often. All growth is uncomfortable. If it's comfortable, then you may not be growing as much as you think you are. So just allow it, right? I mean, I guess it becomes comfortable once we really surrender. If we're fully surrendered into the process, it can sometimes be comfortable, but a lot of times it's not going to be. And that's okay. We didn't come here to be comfortable. We came here to grow and evolve at an exponential rate because this level of density allows for the greatest expansion. This is the crash course. This is the accelerated course here on Earth right now. So if you are here, congratulations. You took on a lot, but you took it on because you knew that you could do it. You had faith in yourself. And if you are at a point in your journey where you've lost faith in yourself, just know that I have faith in you. I believe in you. And if nobody else told you today, I love you and you are doing a fantastic job. I'll talk to you soon.